I'm Jerry, a happy hoarder, and not only do I hoard for fun and profit, I have a whole new reason to hoard, and that's for these awesome decorating challenges and collaborations. And I want to thank our host, Antoinette of Decorating Ant's Place, and her co-host, Shelly of Pretty Inspired Decor, Shelly of My Style, My Colors, and Tammy of Glam Queen of DIY for the Pink Spring Easter Decor Challenge 2021. Want to know how to save 50% off on your vintage chocolate molds? Buy half a mold. So I have one extremely old one back there, and it is just beautiful, but it's just the front half, and I think that's amazing. I actually went looking for half a mold after I bought that one to see what kind of good deals I could get. So I picked up that at a thrift store, the little cake mold, and I've had it for so many years. A lot of this stuff I have had since my kids were little. The doll I actually bought when I bought my St. Patrick's Day dolls. It was kind of in the thing together. I just love those little old dolls. I have a whole bunch of them, so maybe have one for every season. I should go check them out. I love my little painting in the back with my little pink flowers. I have this thing where I love little old houses or cabins or barns, but they have to have a tree. And so that one just kind of worked out great because it had a pink bloom, some kind of tree growing in front of it. Well painted though, really cute. Now my doll is something I picked up at Rolling Hills and just fell out when I found her. She was such an affordable price. I don't even want to talk about it, but she's so pretty and I love her dress. So she kind of hangs out in my office with me now. And when I was thinking, I don't have anything pink, and then I realized, wow, I have her. And when I saw her, I thought, I have some other pink stuff. So I had this little doll down in my, Rolling Hills stash. And she was also, so I think I bought it at Rolling Hills. I was going to put it on eBay. And her eyes are just such a mess. But I actually have a fix for that. I have some sealer that I put over my dolls when I'm doing my zombie dolls. So if you're not familiar with my channel, you wonder why, how you have so many followers. It's because I make these gothic dolls and they're just all kind of part of the same thing. I also, speaking of painted these little chocolate molds. These are chalkware that I did. Now this is an actual reproduction mold that I cast that in. So I have a few of those and I painted him, but not the one on the rooster. Anyway, I think that was Midwest or something. But yeah, all of these are thrifted finds or good deals on eBay. So this is a piece that I had. Now he kind of stays out in my barn, but I always keep him on display in my barn. And that's just my go-to, Easter decoration that I have had, I know, since my 22-year-old was a baby. So I thought they were really cool. So here's my table. That was my foyer. Now you're in my dining room. And this was a blast. I have to tell you, this is the table God made, because everything I found at Rolling Hills Ministry, which is a church-run thrift store that helps out with disaster relief. So check out below more information about them. I've included a link in my description. And they're awesome, and they have the coolest stuff. I believe I bought my runner at a 75% off sale because I have that and some placemats. But I grabbed my runner, it's a linen cotton runner. I had to iron it. Everything on my plate except for my silverware, which was part of my wedding registry, I had thrifted or got really, really cheap. So my plates, I bought a service for 8 at Rolling Hills, and it also comes with a bowl. Unfortunately, one of the little bowls was chipped, but they're kind of stashed away right now. Didn't need them for this display. But yeah, $22.50, of course, plus tax, but they're out of the city limit, so I didn't think my tax is high out there. I've never checked. Bowls, everything, even down to the napkins and the napkin rings. Those napkins were actually brand new in a cellophane wrap. I also got the 8 napkin rings, and they were in their original plastic wrap. So all that was just, the things you find are amazing. So anyone who's followed my videos know that I pick up some of the most incredible stuff there. Now these bunnies, I think I have had since my 28-year-old was a baby. These are by Department 56. They are so hard to find, both of them. I have found one or the other, but finding them as a pair again, it's been really hard because I'd love to give them as a gift because they are so gorgeous. I just love those little rabbits. Now those little bitty rabbits, they came from Rolling Hills. I know, I had a bag of them, and I opened those in the previous video, and I just was shocked how adorable these rabbits were, and so I was so happy about that. Yeah, I had to look up how to set a place setting with a cup and saucer, but I had to kind of make it a little bit different because it had to fit into my space. Oh, I did totally go out and buy some candy to put on my decoration, and then I ate it because I like chocolate. What can I say? Yes, my kids had a saying, it's like, don't trust mother around chocolate, and it's true. I like my chocolate. So my light, yes, my garland is hilarious. So I was, looking for stuff at Rolling Hills, and I see this kind of a Christmas garland with these glittery, eggs on it that light up, and I went, oh, I am totally plugging those in to see if they work, and if they do, they're coming home with me. And I was so happy because I'd already bought a couple of strands of garland to go on my mantle, and they're just the silk and garlands. When I laid them all out, they're kind of with the same length. So I put it all together, and I made that. And if you saw my St. Patrick's Day, you know how hoarded up that was. Well, this time I wanted to do something a little bit more streamlined. And every now and then I do a nice table arrangement, which is very simple, so they're not all piled up with stuff. But isn't it fun to do it that way? Let's face it, it's just fun to set a table. I do like to keep my table set all the time. And there's my paired the other rabbit. They're just beautiful. Aren't they the sweetest things? And I have loved those rabbits. I keep them out. So they're white, which is weird. I don't do a lot of white. I kind of have this off-white thing going. But now that I have found these white plates, I went, oh yeah, I am totally putting my white bunnies out there. But I still love to use my white bunnies. They're so sweet. Those little candy bunny looking things, just the cutest thing. So this table belonged to my grandmother, and my mother had it, and then I have it now, and it's kind of moves around my house during different seasons, and I want to pass it on to my daughter-in-law. But right now, I'm thinking maybe not, because I really loved it for that. So these little rabbit egg, candy things, those belonged to my sons when they were little. And then, of course, more candy. And look how precious my little plates are. Are these roses or peonies? I really don't know. So let me know if you know which ones those are. And this is my go-to tier tray, and I really only brought it out for Thanksgiving to Christmas, so I never used it any other time. It went back up in the attic for the rest of the year, so I am so happy with these tiered tray challenges. Wow. Yes, I bought that cake at Walmart for $5. It's adorable, and yes, we had a slice when I was done. My son was over here visiting, and yeah, we enjoyed that cake. It's strawberry. So good. That little sweet plate that it's sitting on, though, that is something I picked up at the Rolling Hills in Monroe for $1.55 for its 5 plates. Like, why couldn't it be 6? So when I went to look at the price of the 6 plate, yeah, I can't afford them. Well, I can, but you know what I mean. I just don't want to spend $20 to get one more plate. I'm just cheap that way. Yeah, so that was a cute little Rolling Hills find. That vase, those flowers came with some other stuff recently, just grabbing up Easter stuff that was pink. I grabbed those crazy flowers. So my little girl here is something I'd put out for actually St. Patrick's Day, and then with the bunny. So she looks kind of more springy. And she's got pink eyes. Now let's go back to the pink challenge. I immediately thought, what do I have that's pink? And then I, of course, found my pretty doll who was sitting in my office, and I went, oh, I have dolls that are pink. They're wearing pink. And I went, oh my gosh, I have a doll with pink eyes. So it just became this very crazy thing of looking around my house for pink stuff, and most of them which were dolls, because I don't have a lot of pink. So I have and then here's the deal. What color is pink? Because I have blush, rose, stuff. It's just like varieties of pink. Now, if you watched the previous video, I got my bunnies. These are Cebus bunnies, and one was chipped. And so I ended up keeping the chipped one, and originally bought it for my daughter-in-law, and I ended up buying another one. I just went ahead and got one that wasn't chipped for her. Now, this little doll still has her original netting, and I've always just left it on there, so it's really kind of hard to get off. I tried to do it, but it's kind of got to take the hat off, you got to do all the stuff, so I left it on there. And she originally had come with a little hat. I've always wanted this doll, and she's usually kind of expensive, but her little bonnet was missing, so I got her pretty cheap. I tried to make her another one, but I'm not really very good at crocheting, and I was just kind of inventing it as I went along. Didn't work out very well. But my little baby that's inside the carriage, oh, she's just the cutest thing, but we're going to get back to her. This is a doll I got with one of my Shop Goodwill hauls where I got a whole bunch of dolls, and she is just the cutest thing, and I put her in this white wicker chair, and that just really made her kind of pop. And then I put the little bunny. Now that is Bon Bon and another Stevus bunny. And anyway, back to this little cutie and her little bear. So I just love that doll. I don't know who makes that doll. I just don't know who she is. Now this doll has such a sweet face. I just fell in love with her. Got her on shopgoodwill.com. If you want to know some of my shopgoodwill.com adventures of broken dolls, please check out some other videos. Now this little sweetie, she did not come with anything in her mouth when I got her because Shop Goodwill, but she originally would come with a piece of yarn, and she came with a cat. And I added this vintage pink baby bonnet, and I put the pink ribbon in her mouth, and she has pink eyes as well. So stringing that ribbon through her mouth was a whole nother challenge. This doll has the sweetest expression of, I think, all my dolls. It's just so pleasing and adorable to look at. I think this doll is gorgeous. Those are both shopgoodwill.com finds, and this one reminds me of a mannequin. I don't know, just the way she's posed, but I have her facing the other rooms, I mean the dining area, so that she kind of had somebody looking a different way. But she's so gorgeous, just the sweetest face. I'm going to kind of ooh and ah over her a minute because I've always loved this doll. I kind of use her at Christmas. She's kind of a blushy pink with, you know, ribbon going through there if you see that. But I kind of like to put all my white dolls out at Christmas one year, kind of a Victorian looking thing. I am using my vintage crocheted collars. Now, some of these came from, you know, was it the 80s or 70s? When did we wear the collars over everything? But I have a couple that are actually vintage, but these are just more of the 80s ones. And I do use the wooden candlesticks to kind of give me some more dimension. I went with the wooden because they were fat and they would hold the bigger stuff. But that little shell has seashell flowers in it. It's just so sweet. I do want to show you my bunny that's in here. And these are still wrapped in cellophane. By the way, rolling hills. Absolutely. I've had these for many years and paid nothing for them. So yeah, I'm really pleased with my dolls. I would not have done this. I love these challenges because it does give me a chance to have fun. Speaking of dolls, more dolls. Yeah, so that is another doll. Second doll I thought of when I thought about decorating with the porcelain dolls was this girl. She is another stunner. She's just the sweetest thing in her little pink dress. Sadly, she was a doll that came from shopgoodwill.com, and her finger was broken off. Now, I don't think it was broken during shipping. I think it was broken and they just didn't tell me. So I have my little Bo Peep, who is a full porcelain doll, and a little bitty, I think that's maybe Midwest ornament. I've had these forever. I've had these since I maybe junior high or high school. I mean, I've really had these a long time. I can't remember what year, but so long. And then this is one of my favorite. This is full porcelain, but that expression, look at those eyes. She's just the cutest thing, and they painted the tears on her. Now, this doll is actually cast from a vintage baby doll, like a plastic doll, and she is huge and heavy and full porcelain, and she's got the I love you fingers, and so cute. And then she's holding a basket of vintage blown glass eggs. I'd say vintage. I don't know how old they are. Now you see the pink candy. Yeah, I had leftover pink candy because it wasn't showing up on the pink crinkle paper, so it ended up in a little candy dish, and it all got eaten pretty fast, like that day. This is another shopgoodwill.com find. I bought it with a bunch of other dolls, and she wasn't even showing up well, and my God, I was so excited. Now, I want to know who put a pig into their Easter decoration. If you did, please leave a comment below. But yes, I put a pig in there because he's so cute. Or she's so cute. Maybe it's she. I don't know. So I have my little rabbit box that I just had to stick on there. And I have these little flowers too that are the enamel flowers. Now this doll could not get in focus, but she's got such a sweet face. Looks just like my great niece. Oh my goodness, that expression, except she's got brown eyes, but she makes that face all the time. Now, this was a doll I didn't get a good shot of, so I had to kind of do a photo zoom, but she's also pretty little pink Easter outfit. Now these little things are stuff that came in a goodie bag from the Family Promise thrift store in Monroe. And I just loved the blue in those, so I knew I had a doll with blue in it, so I pulled her out, and it kind of gave me some more blue in the picture. And I also included a green feather tree to kind of balance out the green grass on the bottom. Been nice if I'd found my little decorations, but I didn't. So this little doll is kind of something I put together. This is an actual baby outfit, and that just happens to be a baby-sized doll. So I put them together, made that really cute bunny baby. Yes, I have 2 bunny molds. Now, these are the 2 I think I've had the longest, and the other one I think I picked up at Rolling Hills. But these were in my box. I couldn't find it for a long time, and there they are. And this is another bunch of dolls on my buffet. This is in my living room, and it's all one big room. You know how it is. But this doll, gosh, had to put her out. Pink eyes. Come on. Isn't she creepy cute? I don't know. Why are they putting pink eyes in dolls? But this little bunny also came from the Family Promise thrift. And it was like a quarter. And of course I had to have it. And then I had this one long piece of ribbon. And I just thought that would be kind of funny to kind of put it all on that one little bunny. And then this is a needle point that I've had a long time. And I don't remember what kind of flowers those are. Are those apple blossoms or cherry blossoms? I think they're cherry blossoms. Hey, let me know in the comments below. I don't remember which one they are. And this little doll has these bunny slippers. Of course, she's wearing pink anyway, but bunny slippers. This is the really sweet little doll with this precious little pair of pajamas. I actually had 2 of these, and the other one had eyelashes, and this one doesn't. But I saw the one with eyelashes and on eBay. But I got it. Oh, that was a Shop Goodwill. And there's a beautiful little painting, which is a Rolling Hills purchase. And this is a Rolling Hills purchase, if I can get it into focus. And I love China painted plates. If you've watched some other videos, you're going to start seeing China painted plates popping up here and there. They're just precious. I love that. What a lost art. Are people still doing that? I don't even know. But that is just the sweetest. Very well done, by the way. I've had that for years, Rolling Hills, you know. So let me tell you about the bunnies real quick. This was a bunny that I painted myself. Both of these stuff painted for my son, my 28-year-old's first Easter. And then I painted one for my mother. So when my second son was born, she gave me that one back for him. And then that egg is from my set. That was my original China set. When I was in high school, my mother started me some China. And this is Ainsley's Cottage Garden. And I sold it all on eBay because I wasn't using it. I wish I had it now. But yeah, because it's so cute. But that's my egg. And then I had this little bunny, and she's wearing this little pin that like flips around. So it's like a snow thing. It's crazy. So that little tiny doll, I don't know who that was by, but this other one is such a cutie. And her outfit, she is actually one of these like one of a kinds. Now this doll, believe it or not, this was a Rolling Hills find. I think I paid like $20 for her, or somewhere close to 20. And she is all like handmade, artist made. I think she's got a signature on the back. I didn't pull everybody apart to look at them too closely. But she is supposed to be maybe an angel because she had a halo in her hair that I pulled out. It was just wire, you know, one of those wrapped wire. But her dress is well made, incredibly made. So this is why I think she's more of an art doll. And she is supposed to be kneeling and praying. And her hands are those little prayer hands, but she's not. I have her. She can sit, and then her hands can go on either side of her, which is adorable because her hands won't stay together anyway. But I am just impressed at how well that doll's dress was made. She's so pretty. And I got another shot of her. Now she is wearing one of my vintage collars, and I just thought that really looked cool under her original collar. It just kind of gave her this like cape-looking thing. So I put that on her. Should I ironed it first? Sorry. It's my bag. Yeah, I have to point out that I didn't iron it. That's bad. So I love how that turned out. Let me tell you about my lamp. Yeah, I didn't move my lamp, even though I had one that would probably went better, because that lamp weighs a ton, and it scares me to move it because it is so fragile. So it just sits there, and it doesn't move. And I also have the glass bead flowers. I love my flowers. I put them out every spring. And I'm so glad I have this little dog because she fits perfectly on that little shelf. And then I have the little glitter covered. I love putting out, but glitter gets everywhere, so they're kind of safe up there on the shelf. Doesn't get so much glitter everywhere. So I love that little set. But she's a sweetie. Got the cutest little face. I may add eyelashes to her one day, even though she didn't come with eyelashes. And finally, my kitchen with my Welsh cupboard and my precious little roses that originally were on my table for March are now in my kitchen. And my beautiful China painted plate that I just got at Rolling Hills. It's incredible. And I also picked up those blue glasses, and then those little plates were from the Rolling Hills in Monroe, and I'm reusing my lettuce leaf plates. And those are my twins, and now they're carrying a basket of chocolate bunnies that I got with the other bunnies that are on my table. And finally, my kitchen table is just a little something sweet I put together. Most of that's thrifted finds except for the Jim Shore chargers that I got for 75% off. Well, I have enjoyed doing this, and thanks for watching.